And welcome everybody to this week's shed adventure. We're hiding behind the car so I can keep the wind noise down. The good news is I have a remote microphone on order with the woolly bear on the top, and that apparently is going to give me a solution to to annoying you with wind noise on the phone. So where are we today? Well, we're at Lepe Country Park. So if you look behind me on the horizon there, that's the Isle of Wight. We're still on the mainland. But what we're going to do is we're going to canoe down the coast for about half a mile, and then we're going to attempt to go with the tide up the Butlers River. Now, I rather derided the handball on our last adventure, but the Butlers is the only privately owned river in the whole of the UK, owned by Lord Montague of Beaulieu, of the beautiful house and the Abbey and the Motor Museum. And while it does have one marina on it, and while it does have boats moored on it, to me, he's kept the number to a more sensible level, and the aesthetic is much more pleasing. So we'll see what the GoPro can catch. And I'll save this to when we get to where we're going to is Butlers Hard, and when I get there I'll give you a little bit of history, because it's a fantastically historical place where ships like the Victory and other great ships were built in ancient dry docks. They don't look much today, I have to say, but that's what they are. So if we get as far as Butlers Hard, we'll have a bit of a history lesson and a look round. All right, let me get the boat in the water. Where is she? She's ready to go, and we need a bit more water to come in, and we'll be off. All right, everyone, bye-bye for now. And here we are. We've got ourselves off the beach, and we've got ourselves in the entrance to the Butlers River, and boats are just streaming out. It's a Sunday, the sun is shining, it's a midday tide. I was very lucky. I have to thank the New Forest Canoe Club, who turned up for a sail, and they helped me carry the boat down to the water over the mudflats. So thank you, New Forest. I've now got the tide with me. Midday high tide at Butlers Hard, where we're going. So we know that we have plenty of time to get up there, and the tide is only going to turn in our favour, not turn against us. So that's always good to know, although the wind, sadly, is with us on the way down, so it will be against us on the way back. But there we are. So we'll now go up the river. I've been told there's a couple of giant fish eagles in the river entrance, so we'll keep an eye out for them. And I'll see you later on. Bye-bye for now. What is this? I have to say, I'm rather pleased. Well, I don't think anything's going to be open. It's so early. I was on the water not far after daybreak. So this is the ancient village, now museum really, of Butlers Hard on the Beaulieu estate. Absolutely fabulous. I'll show you the village high street on iPhone when we get there, so you can get a better view of it. And the houses are kept, some of them are kept as they were, and some of them are kept during a whole series of ages, so sort of Victorian age and a 60s house. Sort of museum houses that you can walk in, absolutely fabulous. And at the very top of the high street, there's a lovely maritime museum. So, doing a bit of a selling job, but highly recommended that if you're ever in the area of the New Forest in England, you come and do Butlers Hard. It is one of my, it's one of my favourite spots in the world. And I've been around and travelled a lot. I don't think it gets any better than Butlers Hard. Quintessential piece of England. I love it. Right, last few strokes and let's pull up. I'm going to lay on that grassy field up there and stretch my back. So here we are at Butlers Hard, and there's the pub, Master Builder. It's a very posh hotel now as well. And up there is the high street of the village, and none of those, or this side, that's all museum houses. I think estate workers live in the others. And over there, down on the water, are some of the ancient dry docks they used to build old frigates and warships in the days of wood, because of course the wood would come from the forest. Hence why the new forest is deforested. I'm going to go and get a ice cream from the marina office.
So I'm hoping that you can actually read all that. This is one of the information boards at Butlers Hard, which you can see the village high street behind. I showed in the previous elements of the video, and you can see the sort of ships that were built in these little dry docks. Oh, that's my bird crowing in the kitchen. Don't worry about him. Anyway, hopefully that gives you an idea of what we were looking at and the size and the scale of the work carried out here. It's very difficult to see, but if you look behind the boat, right in the centre, you can just about see an indent in the coastline there, and that is where they built sections of Mulberry Harbour. The Mulberry Harbour is a concrete block which they floated across in D-Day for the Normandy landings, and they all linked together and they formed the Mulberry Harbour, which allowed ships to bring cargo across until we could capture a port. And they were all built, the sections were all built along the south coast, quite a few around the area we're canoeing. And they are quite famous. Anyway, that's the end of our trip pretty much, so I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week on Shed Adventure.